Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. We got some quests we need to trade out here. Let's see, which one do we not want to play? We play 30 Shaman Classic cards, or win 2 games with the Warlock or Priest, or win 3 games with the Mage. I wouldn't want to get rid of the Mage because that's 50, so let's get rid of this. Play 10 Secrets. Alright, so as far as secrets and Shaman Classic cards and mages, how can we overlap this in some way to fix everything? Let's start with the Tavern Brawl. Begin with. First things first. Captain's left treasure for everyone, but mostly you. Each turn you open the chest with 3 random cards and choose one to put in your hand. Alright, fine. Choose. Play as the mage. Begin. Don't know what deck I'm going to be playing because it's just going to be handing me one. Oh, it is a weird situation I am in. So, right now, even as we speak, Skyrim Remastered should be out.
Jaina versus
I'm thinking I'm going to do the insane
You
thing.
asked for it. Oh, it is on.
Oh, this is going to be pirate decks. Alright, fine. I think I'm gonna do the insane thing. I think I'm gonna start airing Skyrim Remastered as soon as possible. That's gonna push, and I think I'm gonna put it in the 5 o'clock time slot, which would push Regency Solitaire, which is fine, kind of, because
Hello.
because there we go. Because Regency Solitaire was just Solitaire anyways, and so I could put all that private, push it far ahead. Playing Skyrim may very well put a single time slot in the 5-6 month region of being further ahead, which isn't a terrible idea, really. Let's see, do I want to play another pirate? I guess I do. Just keep on playing, keep on winning. Of course, the danger in playing Skyrim is it's a hugely long game. I'm going to have to play in a very accelerated fashion. So, there's definitely caves I'll find, quests I'll find, things like that, unless I just hit a level of inability to move forward in the main story mode, I'm mostly just gonna go forward in the main story mode. I want to see the DLC stuff. Some of that, like, I know one of the DLC gives you a house, but the other DLC takes you to a whole different area. And all of that. I kind of want to do all the Daedalic items. I kind of want to do join each of the clubs. I think that's probably pretty consistent with what you would want to do in a game like that, but that's gonna be 200 hours. And so, do I do 2-hour recordings and go 100 episodes? That would be 3 months. Or do I go 1-hour recordings? I think I do 1-hour recordings regardless. I think we go an hour. I think I've got to get super obsessive into playing it too, because if I'm not really in the level there, then if I'm not really into the game, if I can't power through it, I haven't finished Pinball FX. I still have six hours worth of recording to do on that. But Pinball FX also kind of is its own problem because that was going to be a really long series of just playing pinball, and it's right there after Regency Solitaire, so that whole time slot kind of goes off. I could, of course, not fill in those time slots and instead go with just let's see, just playing and then have yet another ridiculously long series and yet another time slot that I really can't afford to do, and that's certainly going to be problematic too. This is really, if my channel was to grow, I'm already doing too much for one person. If my channel was to grow so I had more things that I released every day, which probably wouldn't help too much because we're already having a few people saying that I'm posting too much, which honestly is a fair argument at times.
Toyland lover, Toyland lover.
Job's done.
But if it was gonna be we release something on the hour every hour, and just do more and more, we would want to be more varied. I would want to hire other people. That's why I'm saying we. Like I've said in previous conversations, if I was going to do sports games or first-person shooter games, I probably would just hire somebody that's really into it. There is something there if somebody was really good at YouTubing, and for them to just, look, you're gonna play, to tell them, look, you're gonna play all the first-person shooters that I don't want to play, which is practically everything except for Borderlands, and you're going to
What to do? What to do?
Wanted, dead or alive.
see what the spell is. Deal 1 damage. How about that? And like all the sports games I can do on the weekends too. I could put Skyrim on the weekend. Certainly. I guess we'll just stick with this on the mage because this might be an efficient use of our time. What would I do if I start getting everything super high and far advanced? Everything 6 months ahead because of Skyrim somehow. I mean, Skyrim would have to pull me into it so much. I mean, I need to do at the very least 4 hours of recording today.
Jaina versus
At least,
Rexa.
I would say.
Let the hunt begin.
You
Be
asked
at
for
least
it.
a week ahead, and then continue playing, and also alternate the Pinball FX, and also I have other works to do because there's something else that happened right now too, which is the Google, YouTube has finally allowed end cards to everybody. So after a very long time of, well, it felt like a month or two of testing it out with the special people they prefer on YouTube, giving an unfair advantage to everybody because those end cards are working on there. So for example, College Humor totally had end cards for about 2 months, and so they were able to not only change how they were doing their end cards on their newest videos,
X marks the
they
spot.
were able to get more clicks and views and keep people watching their videos, so absolutely they got an advantage there.
Toyland lover.
And now I can put it on my videos, but unfortunately it's not under the default uploads or upload defaults tab. So every new video you have to go put it on, and every old video you have to go put it on. And yes, you could pay $100 a year to YouTube Red, and they're already working on it so that you could copy one to all my 3,000 other videos. But I can't afford that, so that's not going to happen. So instead, I've resolved to simply make a macro using an old program that doesn't even really support Windows 10, called Macro Maker. That's just going to tell the keyboard, mostly, it doesn't even work with the mouse anymore, to go around my YouTube and manually add the thing. There is an import button from a previous video which allows a little bit of help there. So it's not as much of a process as it could have been, but it's still a major process, and making macros is very finicky, kind of dangerous on the website, because if the macro goes crazy, it was clicking on every link in the world and it was taking me to weird websites with just by weird things. Plus Macro Maker, being such an old thing, is designed to run. It literally was designed to run on a 486 processor, and because of that, the level of
X marks the spot. Toyland lover.
delay you have to put in everything is pretty high, because it will just try to run it in every single CPU cycle. Opening web pages doesn't work that way. Web pages have to open, they have to process, they have to load, they have to download. So I'm gonna have to put a lot of delay in there. Actually, I'm gonna go back and work on this macro and try to actually, instead of using delays, have some more control logic into it. Macro Maker allows you to make macros with some logic in it, where you can say, wait until you see this window, wait till you see this, which is a little bit more helpful. Alright.
Job's done.
So that's what I need to work on, and I needed to run overnight, and I needed to go through my 3,000 videos, and it's not going to work as well as I would like because of the way the website works. Perhaps I'm approaching it from the wrong vector. There might be a better vector to approach it from. Actually, by going through a playlist instead of going through a video manager, because there's a lot of links on the video manager page and there would be less on a playlist. So that very well may be the next thing I do.
Time's up. Let's do this. Job's done.
Not particularly trying to win here, but I'd like to. So getting all those in cards at the end, I mean, that's what I directly asked YouTube to do. So I'm sure I may not have been the only person asking YouTube to do this, but I directly asked it. The fact that it's not just like a global thing is a shame. It also kind of makes sense because a lot of YouTube channels were certainly already doing end cards and stuff, so that doing that let's see, do this.
Sometimes I'm reluctant.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose regardless of what I do, so play. So I definitely want to implement it. I definitely think it's gonna help my channel. Is it going to severely change my ending? Actually, no. How did I take damage there? I don't know. In a lot of ways, my ending's gonna work just perfectly with it because the end card screens are 20 seconds. My endings at every recording are more than 20 seconds. It's telling me that it's what I'm saying to do. A lot of it isn't stuff you can really even do in the end card, like liking, sharing, commenting.
You asked for it.
Subscribing is on the end card. Donating is not on the end card, which that kind of sucks because that is on the other cards, which I have no idea how those are gonna work now.
Job's done.
More and more, the videos may get just full of stuff, and yeah, it really in some way is pushing people to YouTube Red, because you may very well on a video of mine or anybody else's have a ad on the lower banner. You may have 5 cards popping up at random times in the top right, and at the end you're going to have this end card screen. And I don't think any one of those is too much, but all 3 of them together might be too much.
What
Let's
to
see,
do?
I'm going to take this one.
What to do?
X marks the spot.
Job's done.
I'd say the ad banner is the most annoying because it's going to just sit there for the whole duration of the video unless you click the X. Of course, if you're really upset about that, either get YouTube Red and support the YouTubers, or use an ad blocker and don't support the YouTubers. I'd prefer you get YouTube Red, and then you're getting the new content, which I don't like, but I can't deny that it isn't beneficial to have that new content and if you want it.
Die, landlubber.
So let's see. How long have we been going? About 18 minutes. Hearthstone is getting shorter and shorter. So in cards we talked about that. But that's gonna be a mess. I may very well never get the in cards on my old videos. If I can't spend the time and get it done, it may very well just not happen.
Die, landlubber. Die, landlubber.
There we go. So here's some bad news. Google Fiber lays off 9% of its workers, and its CEO stepped down, and they paused any expansion into any new cities. So one of the cities that they were thinking about doing is feasibly close enough to where I am right now. Which, this is probably giving away too much information, but I already said it, but okay. It's feasibly close to where I am now that maybe I would have gotten
X marks the spot.
Google Fiber if it expands. And it still has an expansion. I mean, we can try and take this pretty bad news here and turn it around and say, well, they only laid off 9% of their workforce, so 130 people, but that very well may have been the expansion department. This seems like the exact wrong thing that needed to happen and the wrong thing that should happen, but it also seems very much like this might very well be the right business
The Fire Lord.
idea.
Die, landlubber.
This.
Job done.
Yeah, we need municipal fibers. We need to get away from AT&T, Verizon. Those are the only two people that put down fiber to a certain extent. Cable companies
My
like
shield for
Time
Argus.
Warner, which is attempting to become a huge, even huger monopoly, do have fiber on their backbone and then cable to the end. That very well may be the right way to do it.
Will rise against
The
you.
difference, though, is
Nature will rise against you.
let's just squelch this.
Special delivery.
It's just the problem with the cable companies and all the other companies is they don't want to give internet traffic to you. They don't want you using Netflix. They want you to use their own services. They want to nickel and dime you. They've just added to one of the major cable companies a 1 terabyte data plan limit, in which they're going to start charging you for overages on home internet. It's completely ridiculous. It's totally money grubbing. And here is one of the few companies that was trying to fight and put it in the other direction and help internet improve, and they're not succeeding. What? Maybe they've got some other idea? Maybe Google Fiber is going to become a cable company? That wouldn't be a terrible idea. We don't particularly need the expensive equipment, actually. To be honest, you don't really need the expensive equipment and all of that. That exists. To the end of thing. There's a big difference between a switch that could theoretically just run Ethernet from a central post that
Marks the
did
spot.
the 9 houses around that area, and then did just 100 megabits per second or gigabits per second, 1 gigabit per second, full duplex to a house is great. I don't think there's anything above a 1 gigabits on Ethernet, but that's fine because it's highly unlikely that you're even going to be able to do that much. So, like, fiber to the pole versus fiber to the house, to the endpoint, that last little bit probably can save you a lot of work. Probably could. But for Google Fiber to not come out and also announce something like that at the same instance is bad. Alphabet, the parent company of Google's, obviously trying to make money, and this looks bad not only for the internet in general, it also looks bad for YouTube, because YouTube's never made money, and it certainly makes sense why YouTube is doing a lot of stuff to potentially make more money when you see Alphabet here coming up. Let's see. I'm not doing very good today in cards or talking. It's early. The voice actor strike continues. Mostly what I've seen on this is that the management of some of the companies are saying, well, we made an offer, but the union didn't even bother bringing that offer to all the members of the union to vote, and frankly, it just doesn't work that way. Like, all the way it works in unions is you vote to authorize the negotiating people to strike over certain things, and if the management makes an offer about things that aren't in any relationship to the things that they are that they're striking on, they aren't gonna just bring a offer that doesn't address the issues that they're upset about. Like, if I'm, for example, here's a good, like, if I was upset with my neighbor because he burned down my house, if my neighbor comes to me and says, well, I'll pay for your fence and fix your fence, does that fix the fact that I'm mad at him because he burned down my house and I want him to pay that? That's effectively what it is. So, yes, they didn't bring it. They will never bring the contract to a vote of the full committee until the issues that they're striking over in the first place are addressed. Because there's no point in that. They're not gonna cancel a strike for not getting anything that they're upset with unless, well, they won't. They just won't. They'll strike forever. And until they run out of their strike fund that is paying the people to picket and all of that, or all the committee people quit, or all the members of the union quit or become scabs, it's not their position. Anyways, the issue there on the strike too was that they wanted them to address mocap work and having stunt directors there, which they don't even bring up. It's a lot like politics in that one person is going to pivot and talk about one thing, the other person is going to pivot and talk about another thing, and neither one of them are going to actually talk about the question that was asked or the question at hand. It's just trying to spin the topic. They want commissions, so if a game goes on to sell millions and millions, they want to get some royalty checks from that. Why they want to get royalty checks, I don't know. I think it's almost just for the moral of it, because when you look at Hollywood accounting, nobody gets royalties for anything more than a few pennies on anything, but and that's all it would become, is more Hollywood accounting. But I guess that's what SAG-AFTRA, I mean the Screen Actors Guild, is used to doing, so they're just trying to do the same thing that they are used to doing, because they obviously dance around royalties so often. Let's try this. So the strike continues, and I will follow it. Somewhat interesting. A lot of stuff is most of it is being done back behind this thing. Some picketers are picketing in front of like EA's office or something.
I am the blade of the goddess.
How long this will go on, we don't know. It will affect video games. We don't know. What will affect video games or PC games, at least in a little bit, but also it's kind of a nice way to give me a break. Is Intel has delayed its 3D exploit technology for its next level of RAM on SSDs and potentially RAM on in your computer, your dynamic RAM sticks, and potentially even RAM inside your CPU as your L1 and L2 cache. Secret.
Job done.
So that puts some nice things. It slows down things because 3D exploit technology was going to make faster and larger capacity and cheaper SSDs and such, which definitely we need. We still are very much in this middle ground where hard drives, SSDs could always be faster. And the M2 technology, the 960 Pro, is 4 times faster than the SSD I ended up having to buy just for financial reasons and for the fact that also the 960 Pro isn't out yet.
Cthulhu!
Secret.
This document looks legally binding.
There we go.
Job done.
So I got an 850 Evo Samsung, which hopefully it doesn't burst into flames like the phones, but I mean it's a totally different department. And Samsungs are what I have now, so if they burst into flames, they would have bursted a long time ago. I may very well be lowering the speed. I hope I'm not, but I'm not exactly sure what the SSD in my current computer is. So it should be the same, but if it is slower, that's gonna suck. That means load speed is gonna be a little bit longer, and that's no fun. That's not what we want to do. I played one shamanic class card. So we still need 2 more victories with the mage, and then shaman. We're gonna have to play with shamans too. So I'm not even sure if we can do that with our current decks. I think we are gonna more and more just have to build things. The season's almost over, by the way.
An epic!
Ooh, golden epic. Nice to see. We can turn that into some dust. So come over here. Where's that golden epic card? Come on, golden epic. Where are you? There it is. Disenchant. And then we'll just create. And then there we go. We'll disenchant all these other cards that don't even say they're new. They've changed how the new works here, obviously. So, yep. It's been 30 minutes. That's gonna be this recording. I hope it was good enough. As always, I ask you, this will be where the in card shows up here. There'll be a custom recommended video for you over here unless I change it. There's a subscribe in the middle right about here, and then there's the latest video playlist, which has all of my videos, the newest videos first, and then goes backwards to the oldest videos there. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Now, I'm not sure if I say click on my name, Rydo, people will just click here and not actually get taken to my main YouTube page. Frankly, I just saw the home page on PC for YouTube. I've never ever even looked at that. I've been always the mobile app. So that's an interesting experience for myself. Anyways, we're wrapping up. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.